Yo, how's it going, guys? I'm probably gonna regret these 550s. They're probably not gonna be worth my time, but we're gonna do them anyway to try them out. How's it going, equities? Big boy, and of course, I don't know how to say your name, but I do remember you. Don't speak Nihongo, unfortunately. Oh my god, don't look at me. Oops. Is this with chip damage? Yeah. We do have quiet prayers. Oh my god. I'm like forgetting to do the puzzles. Alright, we don't talk about that one. I don't have enough inventory. Did I never pick up the hammer? Is that what it was? Maybe that was what it was. I feel like the whole monkey path in general just feels so lame now, and it is what it is. I agree, though. TBH. The raid in general has gotten quite a bit lamer in general, but... Oh, oops. Oh, you mean like a Twitch button? I don't have one yet. No, I haven't really streamed on Twitch much, to be honest. But I'll get one eventually, right? Kind of slow. Where do you spec pot? I'll use a little bit here. Guess I could lazy flick. Got nothing else to do. Evil, evil bananas. Oh, I can one-shot these, I forgot. Let's not take our chances there. How's it going, Soul Chef? The 5-1 to start. Yeah. Wait, no Masori chaps? No, I'm trying without it first. When did I use that Sarko? I don't remember. I should use a BGS, honestly, but I was a little concerned that if I do like a 550, just raw dog and bring everything, I might not do so well. So, playing a little safe, didn't bring it. Because this is the only room I would use it in other than Wax. And it is a better time save than Void Wakers, but... Yeah, it's a bit restrictive having to bring Eternals right now, to be honest. The 500 setup is like super chill. I'm only bringing the search pot because of Zebek, honestly. I think for chill raids you don't really want to bring surge pot, but that's okay. This is as chill as I think I can make a 550. Other than taking Pathmaster, but who wants Pathmaster? That's not what I meant to do, but... Speaking of which, I don't really have a plan for this room. I was just gonna wing it. That was a mistake. And whatever, I already doomed it. 58. Definitely should trap at least one. That spot. Guess we will trap nothing. I think Din's point farming warfare double. I don't think so. It was kind of hard to fit it in a setup. Maybe for like Shell 500s. Harris's BIS. It's pretty close. If you're talking about for the Overlords specifically, yeah. It's actually better than Fang. By a lot. Guess we'll trap one. I don't even know if that's in the right spot to trap it though. I guess I can point farm if I bank the chins and just not care. That is an option. Now that I think about it, I shouldn't Void Wake these guys ever. I should always save it for Kefri. Comparatively, I get a lot more DPS using it on Kefri than I get on these guys. You kidding me? I'm not dying today. See ya, loser. How many times did I miss on the melee? Okay, I need to remember to summon a melee thrall. That is pretty important. Really, all the scarabs in this room, yeah, Sun Carriers is actually better than it. Basically, you want to use the best Carriers you have. Interestingly enough, yeah, like black Carriers, then like on you, then yeah, you want to use that. Then blue Carriers, and then yellow Carriers, and the others. Din's farming in a 500 probably is worth it. Swarming isn't really an option if you're doing a Pathfinder raid, the second phase, but it is just because there's like so many swarms. But it definitely is an option for the other one, the 500s without Pathfinder. Just because it has nothing to do with like making a jump. It's just being able to hit that many swarms is right now not possible. Maybe if you bring Dragon Throne Axes, it's viable. But it's like 24 swarms or something crazy for the second wave, which is really, really hard. Like, think about the first phase, it has 14 swarms in this setup, and then the second one has like 24, which is crazy. How can we drop my story traps? I'm just trying out this setup for... I figured I might use more restore than I do in like a 545. So I'm just playing it safe and like banking them. They don't save that much time anyway. Oh my god. Don't look at me. I'm trolling right now. $17. Rude. Terrible monkey room. How's it going, William? Looking forward to seeing more of this update. We'll see. So far, I don't really like it too much. It's great. I'm definitely gonna make a video for like bowfa users though, because like 500 seems, well, even 515 seems really free, but not really a point to do 515 if you do 500. Did I not have Death Charge? That sucks. Feel like I'm holding the bags, holding a bunch of fangs. I haven't sold them yet. I don't know when's the right time to sell them, to be honest. Seems like Baba is on average like in the low 3 minutes. Losing some ticks to handling the baboons. Although I guess it's... Are you like forced to lose some ticks for the baboons? Other than like... I guess if you take care of them. Because it seems like if you're on cooldown, you can't attack them right away. Tibor Shadow better at Coliseum. It's a hard one. I'm gonna guess Tebow, but if we're talking rebuild, you should probably do a Shadow rebuild anyway, just because it's better in a lot of other places. I tried to blowpipe one while my Fang was on cooldown, and I couldn't. That was a bit confusing. I forgot to use my Surge Bot. Ah, whatever, I'll figure it out. Maybe I should kill one egg so I don't get the third dung line. That might be a play. Wrong Vortex weapon. Oh, I didn't drag him to the right spot. I'm planning on killing this guy anyway, so it's fine. I guess this is a good time to do a melee thrall. Ah, dang it. I messed up there. That guy was supposed to be stuck into this cage. Might be dead. I'm probably dead. No. Mistakes were made. Those two mistakes there. I didn't drag the ranger into the red cage either time. Is there a difference between which thralls you summon? For that specific spot, yeah. I wanted the melee thrall because I didn't want it to proc so fast. Which did work. I think thrall moving arcane is okay. I think so. It's annoying for sure, but I mean you can get around it with a melee thrall, so it's fine. Do you think it's not worth going for 500 now, or more points would still be better to push to 550? I'm going to guess most likely 500 is worth. 550, honestly, anything above 500 probably isn't worth. Probably. That being said, I'm still running them anyway, as you can see, but they're probably not worth. Look the thing. What event did you put on for 550? We have Quiet Prayers and No Overly Draining, which boosted up us from 545 to 550. So I'm gonna go on attack cooldown now. See, look, and I can't blowpipe for a little bit right away. There's no cooldown once you can hit, but if you have two baboons, it seems like you're forced to lose. You're supposed to wait until your attack cooldown goes up. Sucks. Obviously, you can just ignore them and do them later, like during boulders. But well, you upload an example No Shadow 500 run with the changes. I actually did a 515s yesterday, and they were pretty free. That's with a 40 timer. Not worth losing 10 ticks. Oh, you wouldn't lose 10 ticks. You just lose 2 ticks. But like, I'd still do it. It just it's just a bit weird to feel, you know, like it's no tick loss. You just wait until boulders though. It's fine. Just tank them until boulders. Skill is much higher than the average player. I mean, that's true, but still. 515 is basically leeway to do whatever. Oh, gotta be careful there so I don't get no monkeyed. If 500 is the best one to do, right, and I can do a 515, then you can just take 15 invo off of whatever you want. Whether it's, which could be whatever you want, you know? Oh, throw a kill. Be like timer, it could be like soft core or something like that. A lot of options. Like, for example, you could do no jungle japes and no timer, and you'd be at 500, which is the same rate I did, basically. This might be a really overcooked idea, but in the position of a main with no Mega Rares trying to get first Shadow, is bring Pegs, well, Pegs no. Venator Ring. For the bowfa setup worth looking into. Okay. I mean, you said you're a main, right? So, eventually, once you can afford ZCB, the answer is no. Technically, it might be worth if you somehow... But the thing is, Venator Ring costs money, right? Also, there might be a world where somehow you have no DPS specs and you have a Venator Ring and it might be worth it, but like that's like an extremely weird position to be in. And if you're a main account, you can never be in that position, right? Because you can just sell it and buy something else. Also, congrats on the solo top. The hashlingy slasher. Venator Ring is like, you know, like that the dragons meme where like two dragons are looking like menacing, and then that one dragon is looking dumb as hell. That's the Venator Ring. Meg is an altar, and then they're like looking at the Venator Ring. I'm gonna stab one egg. Hopefully that stops us from doing a dung later. Which is actually something I want. I actually want only one dung line. Okay, I'm gonna do Partisan, Void Waker, Drag, Blowpipe. I'm gonna run down here. I'm gonna pray melee, and we're chilling. I think I lost a tick there. Unforgivable. I'll skip one. Oh, we're big chilling. Then we can push here. Got a raiding kit? Nah, I didn't bother yet. I'm using a Fang. I'm not supposed to be using a Fang, I'm supposed to be using a melee thrall. Okay. I'll poke this guy to death later. I should not be using a Void Waker on this guy. Oh. Now, interestingly enough, I think when I kill that guy, my Sun Partisan does not proc, and I think that's going to get me killed. Why does that happen? I need to wiki this. The Sun Partisan, when you kill something, is supposed to heal you. It's supposed to heal you for 12, and it doesn't there. Jagex. Please fix. Valve, please fix. I mean, that was my mistake for getting blown up anyway. The idea is there. As I said, this juice is not worth the squoze, but we're gonna squeeze. I was planning on getting the world record for Yama later, but not like today, but like at some point. I just haven't really wanted to play OSRs in general. To be honest, you know. Oh. Oops. I wonder if I one-shot this guy with Piety. I do. I thought they made the thralls one-shottable. I'm wrong. That was a really bad monkey room. Have you done Yama? A little bit. Like 400 KC. Wonder how hard that baboon can hit. $550 with deadly prayers? I think you mean quiet prayers, but yeah. Alright, that's not really worth it. I should have just killed it. Being annoying. Feels weird seeing you not 5-1, yeah. Feels weird too. Well, this is the engaging gameplay that Jaggers wanted, so. I think the heal didn't go off because there wasn't 5 prayer points. I had like 50 prayer points though. What ring are you using? I'm using Alter. It looks like Baba's generally about low 3 and a 550. Not too bad. Red Xing Baba actually was fun if you're doing 5 to 1 specifically. Because you basically have to deal with all the mechanics. But now without having to Red X, you still don't deal with all of the mechanics. You deal with less mechanics than you did before. Which is very weird. You gonna put out any new vids or full runs with changes? Probably just like a bowfa setup. Like I'm gonna do like a 500 or 515 bowfa run. Obviously, you can change it to like 500, which is probably recommended. I would just be doing the 515 to like show that you can make time and stuff. Because that setup's pretty easy. I did it yesterday. It's like no flick and stuff. And you can make a pretty decent amount of time with it. I cleared in about 38 minutes. And that's like with full skull skipping. It's 500 meta now because of the point cap. Not because of point cap, but because there's like a separate weighting system. And for some reason, the weighting system doesn't scale by invocation. So you need to like hit a 50 breakpoint, right? So like 500 is significantly better than 495, which previously that wasn't the case. Which means like if you can't push to 550, well, if you can't push it to the next 50, it's not worth. The problem is 550 also doesn't have like anything separate, and so it caps at 500. So there's not really any reason to go to like 505, 510, blah 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 blah. There's no reason to push past 500, unfortunately. I'm just doing it because maybe one day they'll give a reason. I don't know. I just feel like weird doing like a 500, honestly, after having done like 545s for so long. Are you kidding me? I love how they don't address the root problem of Baba and Kefri feeling like shit, which is if I click harder, I do more damage. Thank you. Oh no, I shouldn't have changed that. Oh well. We'll let an extra one leak. Yellow cat is BIS. It's actually, yeah, it's pretty much BIS on all of them. We'll use a melee throw now. Ah, shit, I did not mean to trap this other one here. It's fine though, I can just shadow it. But I would prefer to yellow Karis it. Oh my god, I have a surge pot. I should use it. I wasted 10%. It's over. What did they do to Yellow Karis to make it BIS? They didn't do anything to Yellow Karis itself. They did things to the Overlords. They made them basically never scale the defense up. So basically, like, lower accuracy weapons that just hit hard, such as the Yellow Karis, are better. Any Karis you have is going to be better than any other melee weapon you have. Even like potted up mage arguably is worse than Karis. Which is kind of crazy. Not have a throw up. I guess I don't need to pray ranged. Now that I think about it, why am I bothering to chase around the mage? I guess I could just, since I have a shadow, I might as well just shadow all of them. It's a little worse than Yellow Karis, but it's a lot easier. Oh, Zebek's level 2, that's nice. Makes it nice and easy for me. I think, so 540s and 550s are roughly around 8% right now, which is about 10% better than 500s, but because it's like so much slower, it's probably not worth it. It's probably like 15% at least slower, while only being 10% better, so, and way harder. That's like a really important part. Like a Quiet Prayer 550 is actually tremendously easy compared to a 550, and it's more efficient, so it's kind of weird. I think Maw Goblin said, oh, it's like worth it to push, but clearly it's not worth it to push past 500 right now. These are not the butterfly tiles. And... Hmm. We're in a pickle. I'm powerless about my tile markers. You wanna go away, Akka, while I try to figure out what to do in my life? Thank you. Okay, so what we want to do is... I don't even remember the order. Okay. Open this up. I'm busy. Woo! What was the order? Ah, shit. I think it was this. No incidents. Absolutely flawless gameplay. These aren't not even the tile markers that I normally use. I'm powerless without my tile markers. I can't see without my tile markers. Yeah, these are not the tiles that I normally use. It's supposed to be that upper one. Bodhi's pretty good for doing 540 slots. Moving on plugins, yeah. What was the last one? This room is pretty tough to do no tile markers with. I try to minimize tile markers, like I don't use like half of these. And mine's only go in one direction, but he doesn't even use them in general. Oh my god. I just Ruby Spect on a range phase. Oopsie. I do a max F500 driller. I don't think I can bring myself to be honest. I wasn't really sure if that procced. Think a light bear is worth in some rooms? For sure in some of them. The only reason I'm using Magus Alter is because I saw Calc saying that, like, for the most part, Alter wins, even with like adrenaline and stuff. I haven't like fact checked it, but I'm just gonna believe it for now. I assume Lightbearer probably beats Alter though. So I just want to like try it out, I guess. I don't know. Bowfa Butterfly viable with these tiles? These are 5-tick tiles, so probably not. I mean, you can do it. I wouldn't recommend it. Consensus doing 1+1s? Well, the consensus has always been if you can't pilot both accounts to a reasonable degree, then it's not really worth it. Reasonable being like both of them are going to survive the majority of the raid. Which is really hard to do, because doing P3 and P4 on 2 accounts is tremendously difficult. But if you can do it, then it's worth it. Why did I... Maybe that was a little arrogant of me. We live another day. Oh yeah, normally I would adrenaline send some CCBs, but I messed up, so I guess I'll just chill in mage for a while and then adrenaline for the end. Or I guess like midway. So did this update make Shadow more or less common in general? Like overall, no matter what, I'm gonna take longer to get a Shadow, and I'm getting less purples along the way. Wait, overly draining's off. I can ZCB once, I think. All right, terrible game. To be fair, I only have 3 range switches. My accuracy is like probably like 30% chance to miss or something. What raids is it good to do? The Theater of Blood. I mean, this place is still good money, right? We're just super spoiled. And like 545s were like 18 mil an hour for a really long time. Technically, like 2 years ago, they were like 20 something. Oh, like Toa, what level? Probably you just do 500s, to be honest, with any setup you have. Whether you have a bowfa or Shadow, you're doing the same 500, which is a little bit disappointing, but seems like you have no max path. I don't have Path Master, but I have Pathfinder. Did I miss that augury flick? I think I did. Is Pathfinder worth for 500 raid? I think it's worth it if you have a bowfa setup. But overall, for most people, I'm gonna say no. Yeah, that Akka was a disaster. Messed up a lot. Is Quiet Prayers a decent invo? Yeah, it's like, it's a 500 with Shadow is really good. I would say for like a bowfa setup, probably not. Because you want to be pushing to 500 with the bowfa. And Quiet Prayers is kind of like hard to push with a bowfa. Mostly because of wardens, not for any other reason. I mean, there are ways around, but they get kind of weird. I've had to drink this regen. I actually have to flick. This sucks. Ooh, my adrenaline's running out. That's a little spooky. Maybe I'll just one set it. No rapid heal, Tiki. I'll be honest, I really don't like using the Monster HP plugin. The one that looks and puts a number there, so I don't really do it. I never bothered to learn the timing without it. I tried and failed a few times. Actually, I think I'll be okay. Actually, yeah, I'm chilling. I think it's pretty much Monster HP plugin. Wait a minute. We have a problem. Oh. Uh-oh. No adrenaline. Because I used a Monaka to survive. Now, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. So 550 now? Honestly, 550 is not worth it. I can't imagine a world where it's worth it. Maybe. Actually, there is one world they make it worth it. Where you can just, like, take Pathfinder or something, but... This is, like, the most annoying 550 variant, to be honest. The easiest one is this if I take Pathmaster, right? If I go like this. Like, this is, for sure the easiest 550 I could do. But I wanted to try no overly draining, which saves a lot of time, actually. But honestly, I'm tilted, so I'm just going to do this now. Morphing Locator or for consistency? I don't know. I mean, the only reason I got into that situation was because I griefed Akka and had to adrenaline to live. Yeah, Quiet Prayers without pass is kind of AIDS. I mean, with pass is kind of AIDS. The juice ain't worth the squoze. Even with Pathmaster. I mean, Pathmaster's not too bad, actually. Surprisingly. But this is not worth the time invested at that point. Like, if I'm taking overly draining, this by itself already, like, grease a 550 so bad that it becomes not worth it. Which is, like, a big problem with the current raid scale. It's never worth it to go to 550, because this plus this is going to make the raid, let's say, 15%, 20% longer, and the drop rate's going to go up, like, 10%. You know, that's, like, half efficiency change right there. What invos would you do for 300 speed? Oh, everyone's running this right now. Oh, sorry. Everyone's running this right now. It's really chill. No paths. You just have like easiest epic. You don't need to use adrenaline for anything. You can double power. It's a really good setup. You ever run the Akka Kefri Wardens? I don't think you should anymore, but you can. All right, I'm gonna take a break from the 550s. That felt like not worth the squeeze for sure. Here, I'll do some bowfa runs. You guys want to see like 500 bowfas? I think I settled on this inventory. What's the fastest way to get a yellow gem if you lost it? How do you lose a yellow gem? I haven't, like, you just created more questions. Now I'm like perplexed. Oh, don't forget your tiles. Yeah, good call. Now I need to know. How'd you lose them? This is pretty good. Am I missing anything? Like 5 mage switches. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Lured straight from the Toa lobby. That sucks. I think the best way to get your thing back is just to raid, unfortunately. I think I have one too many here. Obviously, I could have a DPS spec, but this is like a bare minimum setup. I'm just gonna assume you don't have one. I don't really have 10 restores. Am I missing something? I have bowfa. I have trident. Oh, DDS. Yeah, something like this. I think this is a no-flick setup. You can just add overlords just for the heck of it, but you don't really need to. You can... This last 15 invo, you can literally do whatever you want with. If you guys want to see. Like, you guys could do... No jungle japes, no boulder dash. This already has ancient haste off. You could do, like, no diet. Although you should go double power. And you just mess around with the invos as much as you want. You just want to make sure you're at 500. You could do this. Actually, yeah, you could do this. You just do this, you know, like, just do whatever you want with the rest. Core weapon? You don't need a core weapon, you just need the dagger. Surprisingly, like, going down like 35 invo is like super easy. I'm thinking for 550, if like 550 actually is worth it at some point, if they like give it a separate shadow scaling, you might want to do Pathmaster and go Kefri first. This might be what I would do. My inventory's in shambles. Oh no, what have I done? This is a noob take, but Monkey Room literally puts me off from potting. They made it a lot easier though. For sure. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. How's it going, Derp and Fresh? I'm too lazy to flick, actually, I don't care. I don't think you need to flick for these 515s. Actually, I'm pretty sure you don't. I should flick in like 1 or 2 rooms, I guess. This is like one of the easier rooms to flick. I'll just do it in like Zebic or something. Is it true that 505 and 545 is the same purple chance as 500s now? Not the same, but it's pretty close, unfortunately. So they might as well be. I wouldn't bother doing anything past 500 right now. Until Jagex says, like, 550 is, like, crazy good or something. Or, like, you know, we're back to exponential scaling after 500. They need to say something that's, like, makes it worth it. Because if we're just going to go by the formulas they had in the blog post, there's no reason to do anything past 500 at all. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's crazy we went from like 17.5% drop rate to like 7.3. I was like, oh, I think like 13 is like a good nerf. I mean, we went straight to like less than half, which is a doozy. The shadows itself, you're only gonna see like a little bit worse, but holy moly, yeah. When I put it that way, it sounds bad. Why would they do that? Look, you asked them. I don't know. 300s are the same, yeah. How's the viability skull skip? Is it more or less worth? It's decently worth. I would say once you're in the 500 break, even like 450, it's already like kind of worth. That's depth charge. I'm going to do partisan. Partisan. Blow pipe. And then once we get here, we're gonna pray melee. And we're big chillin'. And we Karis poke and chill. I just hit like 4 ones in a row, come on. Then I think the best thing to do, I guess the easiest thing to do is just to like trap again, but I'm gonna pray range while we run up to this guy. And we'll stab this guy to death. We're just gonna stab all of them to death. Everyone's getting this shank. Less purples is surely less shadows, even if shadow weight is higher, right? It's kind of like a weird debate right now where, although you'll get less purples, right? Well, actually, no. I'm just gonna answer your question, because now I realize what you meant. So less purples is technically less shadows per raid, but something really important to consider from 500s onward is how fast you can complete a fast 500 versus, like, let's say a 540, right? Previously, a 540, your purple rate went from 13 to 17%, and that's like a little over a 20% increase. And back then, you couldn't ZCB Akka shadows, and that was also pretty important because it made overly draining a little less valuable than it currently is. And because shadows were all the same like weight, then all you needed to do was complete a 540 in a shorter than 20% like time, basically. And that was pretty easy. Now you have to beat. You have to complete a 540. Not 20. It was probably like 10. Now you have to complete a 540 in like 20%. And it's like a lot harder now that you can ZCB shadows. Because we were getting like 27, 28 minutes 540s. Not 540s, 500s. Did it reduce scarabs? Yeah, all of them. They have like no defense now, so you can just... Karis Poke is the best thing you can use. Other than like Shadow. I should change the title. I flicked just Kefri, and the only reason I flicked that is because I'm not going Power Life this run. I'm going double power so I can BGS more. Which I think for most people they probably want to do anyway. Double power, BGS more, and have more access to more sun. Power Life is like pretty good if you're like experienced, but less BGS also sucks. You only have to flick in like the easy ass rooms anyway. You don't have to flick like while running Akka orbs or anything. The shadow rate also spike at 550? No, there's no further spike, unfortunately. So it's like 500 and then that's it. Oh, lame. Yep. Very lame indeed. Like, it should honestly go to 550, right? I don't really like the system in general because you take out all of the progression, you just go straight to a 50. Much faster at raising out like 500 or 450-ish level. If we're talking max gear, only like a minute. If we're talking like bowfa, probably like 4 minutes, which is a pretty big difference. Not to mention, like, not even... Yes, the fact that the bowfa run got faster is important, but look how many supplies I'm using at Akka right now. None. That's like super important. Use so much less supplies than I do at tumbling. It takes some practice though, for sure, right? Nothing wrong with that. That was a perfect transition, I think, and I did not mean it. It's a huge nerf to max gear 500 raids, full stop. In a way, yes. Like, the raid has gotten faster, it's gotten easier, right? But if everyone who owns a bowfa can now do 500 or 515 or whatever, right? Then the gap between you and them has shortened, and the market is not in your favor anymore. If you're talking from like a main account perspective, it's a nerf. Uh, I think we're in cycle now. So I'm doing step backs, right? But you don't really need to do this. You just pray melee. When you see this hit splat on you, you just switch. It's that simple. It doesn't really do that much damage. Same thing like here. I think you could do a sub 25 500. With enough practice, yeah, for sure. Maybe, probably not on first try. Is base character worth using? It's worth bringing. Just for like kef rates. Okay, we're in cycle now. Anyone get one before changes? I think someone's gotten extremely close, and that's before you can even ZCB Akka. That's like huge. There's supposed to be BGS whack? No, you're gonna need some DDS in there. We definitely dump one Fang spec. Save the other one for an emergency sun if I need it. There you go. Like no orbs now. So nice. So I have 6 restores, which should be enough to get me through all of Zebek and well, the rest of the raid, basically. Tank Burning Claws or DDS. I mean, if you have them, I would bring them. They're nice for a Kefri. Make sure you step 2 back. And this is probably like the easiest room to flick in. Just because you don't have to like move much. Would you agree the hardest part of the raid was surviving last Robe Warden? Generally speaking, yeah, but after you like experience the raid, it's like minor things like Kefri setup and stuff that seem harder. I think Kefri is the room I die to the most now. When it comes to like 500 plus. It's very easy to mess up. Interestingly enough, if you're really comfortable with like making time on this kind of raid, because let's say you have a spec weapon or something that helps, you can just turn off Upset Stomach and still have a really easy 500. I'm gonna go double power, so I'm gonna resalt here. I normally wouldn't resalt if I was going power life, but this is a dehydro raid anyway. I'd rather have the extra adrenaline for the end. I'm actually going to use like 1 adrenaline when I need to sun. Or sorry, when I need to BGS Obelisk. I'm going to use probably 1 at P2, and then probably 1 at P3, and then probably 1 at P4. I think that's the best way to go if you have no spec weapon. I think if I had like a ZCB, I'd probably use 1 at Akka, 1 at Zebek, and then 1 at Obelisk, and hopefully just 1 at P3 into P4. How much time loss is doing Zebek first? Probably like a minute and a half at least, if I had to guess. Your bowfa loses like 1 billion max hits. Should I be bringing yellow cares on 300 without dehydration? Probably not. You can, but you probably not. Because you shouldn't have dehydration on. And like when it gets tough, you don't even need to flick like that. It's like when it's easy, you can flick. I think realistically, if you go into Wardens with about 4.5, you're chilling. Maybe 5. I make it in. And that's not counting the regen. So like 4 in a regen I think is fine. We released a guide on the new 500s, fast 500s meta. Probably not like the one for max gear. I'll probably just, oops, was it a little bit late? I'll probably just make one for the bowfa users. And that's it. Personally not too interested in making a max gear setup for like fast 500s. Because it would just be basically like, here, this is when you want to use your ECB specs. And that's really it. Like basically it's just teaching you spec order and stuff. It wouldn't be going over any like advanced mechanics or anything like that. I'm gonna safe up here. And then we'll go power again. With Lightbearer, I'm willing to use 3 BGSs. But 35 is close enough. I guess I'll prep my DDS while I'm waiting. My Karis pokes. Mind showing your object markers and tile indicators? Yeah, sure. Want to see the color right there. Since you're watching on YouTube, you can pause it right there. And then, what was the other one? Tile indicator, maybe? Here, if you want to go look at them. Yep. Whip these guys out. Might as well have this equipped. Yep. So bombs might be coming out soon, so I'm just gonna keep my eye out on this area. Alright, we're good. Bring in on our adrenaline. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back. I just gotta keep my eye out in this area. Can't land underneath him anymore. Go ahead and safe up. No need to min-max the, like, you know, like, oh, I'm 1 HP above his max hit kind of thing. Heal whatever. And Karis poke. Use a little bit of DDS here. Kinda lost count. I think we're on like 5 now. That's fine. 6, 7. Gotta make sure I change my thrall. Update my salt. That's always topped off. Adrenaline again. Now we don't need it to use anymore. Let's save it for BGS specs. Got a lot of leniency in the last phases, so as long as you get your 5 DDSs in the beginning, you have pretty good leniency after. Then we'll dump some BGS until we get some good hits, and then we'll adrenaline again for P4, and that's it. We'll go for like a 50-ish. Actually don't know the max you can drain. I think it's like 50. Oh my god, I had a little bit of lag there. Well, no need to be arrogant. We will save. We'll turn that off. Blow piping swarm's always worth it. Pretty much, yeah. Whoa, I wasn't paying attention. And then here you can skull skip. I'm gonna kill the first set of skulls because I kind of want the heal. But after that, I'll skip. I guess I should have flicked a little bit more at Bobo or Kefri or something. Should be fine though. It should last me a while. I should still have like 1 in something. Alright, we're skull skipping. I'm using a BP Missouri. Yeah, I mean, you can butterfly with a crossbow itself, like the ZZB, for example. Dude, what is happening? Something... I'm like, definitely mistiming something there. I think that's the second or third time I've made that specific, like, step error. We'll kill, like, 3 skulls or something. You can just do the room normally, honestly, and it'll be fine. And then just butterfly when you can butterfly him. You can just use like a blowpipe for the shadows. There are some alternatives that I probably wouldn't recommend, to be honest. Like, let's say a scorching bow would work, but they're pretty bad DPS. I wouldn't recommend it. You're very likely to miss DPS skips. I should probably check how good oddly enough, like a raw bowfa is just for butterflying. The shadows don't have much defense. Yeah, you could do like a vanilla Akka. It reduces ship damage a lot. And then you could just butterfly it for himself. Oops, gotta pay attention. There's a result now. I have enough for like some BGSs and 1 Karis. I'm willing to sacrifice up to 3 BGSs, because then I only need to survive 30 seconds for my next Karis. This now. I will both whiff Pydion. Absolutely shameless. I'm willing to do 1 more. Did not get the greatest reduction, but still better than like nothing, right? And you see my Karis is almost coming up. Got a whole restore left. And then this comes down to mostly your like last row practice. Oops. I still like I can do like another sun if I needed to. Actually, this is surprisingly enough for 2. And look, 37 minutes, 5:15, double power. Not bad. You could make it like 39 minutes and go power life. A little necessary. Sad. Can you step on any of the 3 shadows during last row? What do you mean by that? Do you just mean like, when can you step on them? You just can't be on them at the very like tick they explode. So you can like run on them right when they're about to explode, and that's ideal. Because then you know it's like safe for a few ticks. Now, you can add in some DPS specs, and this raid will go a lot faster. The silk dressing be very helpful if you tow off die for 500, or is the Warden's P1, P2 HP pretty safe? It's pretty safe with Ancient Haste, but you can. There's nothing wrong with like going life second. Like if you want to go life second and have like a chill time for P4, that's fine. I would say no matter what, you should save at least 1 bandage for P4 if you're gonna go that route, and you can use the other one whenever you want, which is up to you. But there's other things you could do too. Like if you don't feel confident with Zebek, you just turn off Upset Stomach. You have a 500. You don't feel confident with the time, turn it off. Time is not too bad. If you have a DPS spec, time is really easy. I can do a power life setup right here. This will probably bring us down to like 35 minutes, honestly, if I bring a Void Waker. Probably like a 35-minute bowfa run. Which is kind of crazy to think about, but I think that's pretty reasonable, actually. I don't think he can break a sub 30, though, unfortunately. That sucks. I wonder if you did... This could be a run. This could be like an efficient bowfa run. You definitely need DPS specs. And honestly, I don't think most people can do that, so... Yeah, I'm gonna vote that out. What is a DPS spec I can bring? It's not too... What do Iron Men have more of? Do they have Void Wakers or Zerites? Or is it neither? Tebow. I wonder what I would do for Tebow. Webweaver? Or is that too meme? I had to pull up DPS calcs. Void Wakers. Everyone hates an X, right? Are we in agreement everyone hates an X? I think we're in agreement everyone hates an X. Okay, I'm gonna do it like a no flick run this time. Because I don't think people want to flick like 2 rooms. Let's do... Well, we'll just leave the raid as is, honestly. And we'll just not flick. We have a lot of restores. And... Did I bank something I shouldn't have banked? Tormented? Guess it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Tormented, I think you lose about 15 seconds on the raid. I'm pretty sure you lose about 8 seconds per P2. That's fine. Who cares? Go power life. Okay, so this is a good example, actually. I can do this. Watch. I'm gonna go power life, right? I can do this. This is a good power life example. I didn't pre-pot. This is like a 500 flat, which remember because of the way the breakpoint threshold system works now, this actually isn't that much different than a 515. It's almost identical. So this is like a perfect like way to like mix and match your raid. This would be what I call like a more advanced. I mean, I'm literally adding one item, but I would say this is like a more advanced way to run. It doesn't require more technique. Actually, it's going to require less. One-way switch. Gotta find my blowpipe, and it's lost in the sauce. To do one-way bowfa hit on those right now. I didn't put Piety on. On these guys in. Well, I have some good news for you guys. Baba does no damage anymore, so this is 100% HP. Isn't this ridiculous? I'm just big chillin'. I'll do one thing so I don't die to like a baboon rock. I'll blowpipe a boulder, and then we'll call it a day. Five to 1 is dead? 5 to 1 is so dead, dude. What would you use on baboons? You can use like a blowpipe. But yeah, T-bow shadow, like anything that's long range. Whatever your longer range weapon is, T-bow works. They have 1 HP. I don't know if I popped this Arco, so I'm just gonna... What about the rock? Could use yellow Karis if you're right next to it. Get a heal. Although, I don't know why you would need a heal in this room anymore, but... Whoa, almost misclicked. You see, I was a mile away from these rocks, but it doesn't matter. Might slow shadow me here, but I mean, I can just lose some ticks. It's actually pretty slow. Anyway. No! Whatever. One dose Sandview gone. We don't need it. I meant to use it and then just drank it. It's fine though. Oh wait, we don't need to flick. We're chilling. I think for this kind of run, I'll def charge a little early. I think that's a little better. We'll hit one egg. I forgot Chinchonkers. That's what I forgot. We're just gonna blowpipe this individually. Get like a half-ass swarm. Better than nothing. We killed one egg, so Dung is here, which is nice. We'll use yellow Karis for poking these guys. Oops. Just run around poking. Don't need to pray ranged. Yep. We will pray range now. Okay, so I forgot the chins. Probably made it like 20 seconds slower. But what it is. Here, it actually doesn't really matter which is epic you go. Epic or Akka. It actually doesn't really matter too much in this day and age. It used to matter because you used to need to like brew for Akka. But with the run energy changes, it doesn't really matter. What's all that? It was in Precious Daylight. Now for this setup, you don't really want to use your Adrenaline except for like Obelisk and stuff, but honestly in this run, you can probably get away with it, even for no Obelisk. For consistency's sake, I would still use it for Obelisk, just in case, but... And then probably one for like... What am I doing? I think we're back in cycle. About to hit a minute, so I'll put Potty up. Oh. Slap him. That is not the cycle. I'll figure it out. There you go. We're back in cycle. Perfectly executed. No incidents. Just gonna wing this transition. We'll just Void Wake him when he comes out. And we'll 4-way switch. Like so. Nice and simple. Oops. So he's gonna be guaranteed to switch next time. I'll go ahead and prep my Fang. Watch a DPS check. I'll just stand here. Just no one's on it. No more guns music. It's in the playlist. It appears when it wants to appear. Melee hit splat comes to me, and then I will pray. Melee hit splat. Mage hit splat. Melee. Mage. Is it already clear if 500 is more worth than doing? If 500 plus is more worth doing than 500? I'm pretty sure right now it's 500 flat is what you want to be doing. There's not really much of a reason right now to do any higher than that. I'm pretty arrogant. I'll dump all on Fang specs here. Kinda hard to get hit with the changes. Now, this is a life second inventory, so I don't want to resalt. Definitely want to preserve. Make sure you always step 2 back. Can't remember what the things need to do to get the transbox. All invos and level 4 plus? Correct. And it's gotta be at least level 450 on top of that. Prep our Void Waker for the end. Now with this setup, you have lower DPS a lot because of the salt and less BGS consistency. But as a good trade-off, you can basically not flick in any room like you see. Now you might be tempted to run up in Void Waker spec, but just chill out a little bit. You might need it if it's a level 4. If it's level 3, you won't take any damage, it's fine, but you cannot pray against Zebek's level 4 barrages. Home run. We use 1 spec so we're not sitting on spec. But we'll always be ready to like sun. Now, depending how it goes, we might double Void Waker at the end, but we're gonna wait until the very, very end. Seems to be pretty safe to do so. Make sure you always step 2 back. You're fine. We go life, and you want to drop, with this setup, since we took diet off, we want to drop this, and we can grab the rest. You can resalt, open up the rest of the bag, adrenaline, We're willing to use 3. You can see we're chilling. We are big chilling on supplies. I recommend using 1 Karis in the beginning here, and then use your bandage somewhere in P2, and then save the other dose of the bandage for P3. Which name checks out the RSN? That's right. No need to worry about tick eats with this setup. If you get another set of orbs because you're getting unlucky, you can always hit the bandage there as well. We're trying to save this last one for E4 ideally. Unfortunate. The bandage. Prep to DDS. You always want to make sure you get the 5 DDS in the beginning. That's like the most important thing. Because it's like a cascading effect of when you can hit. And how long you can hit in the later runs. Actually, we need to use an adrenaline on P2. You see that I am auto-healing with the bandage. People don't even know what this thing does. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're pretty much set for like the rest of the kill. You can make mistakes or big chillin'. Put myself in this corner so I only need to pay attention to my immediate surrounding. Because they can't land behind me here. They can only land in these areas. Yep, bombs are over. We still have an adrenaline, so we're gonna go ahead and use the Sun Karis. We'll dump the remaining on DDS though. This is 4. I don't remember if Vance was a BGS here. I was, but it's okay. Now we're going to try to regen our BGS as much as we can. Going to P3. You can see I have a lot of restore. We're 30 minutes, about to start P3, soonish. Pretty good. I would say the 500s are not too bad. Knowing myself, I should Sunspec, because I've made enough tile mistakes that it's an issue. But I'm arrogant, so I'm not gonna do that. If I die, it's entirely my fault. I'm definitely hitting the Sun Karis as soon as I can, because I am not used to the bowfa cycle. What do you think the new meta for like 400 used to be for Iron users? Any easy 450 runs? This 500 run is probably the new meta. You should go 100 invo up. You could rewatch this VOD as much as you want on YouTube, but you can see I'm not flicking like any rooms. I'm chilling. You do need to take some time to learn double trouble keep back, but getting to this 500 threshold is crazy. And look, I didn't flick any rooms, remember, I didn't flick a single room. We have 8 minutes on time. I'm going to do a full skull skip. You cannot ask for a bigger buff to your raids if you're a non-shadow owners. Alright, so our salt's kind of running out, so we'll go ahead and preserve. Resolution is 1050 by 800, I think, Cowboy, in case you want to use it. So with this setup, you only want to drop one BGS, and then you have to live 45 seconds to get your next sun. But that's fine because you have a bandage running in case you get hit a lot. $1440p, I am indeed. Bandages 2, gotta see the info setup. Yeah, I can show you after this. This is like probably the... If you have practice with double trouble, this is probably like the most brainless way to do it. Juice not worth squirking. So true. 550s were not worth it. I actually have too much restore, but that's okay. I'm too lazy to drop the one Void Waker. How would you do Akka with T-Bow? You can get like some weirder weapons, but I think honestly you would just do Akka the normal way. I'm a separator. As in like just tank him. They lowered his ship damage a lot, that is not too bad. Fang it, I guess. Well, yeah. Low pipe and Fang him you would never touch your mage weapons ideally. When you're like hitting Akka himself. You could always butterfly if you have a ZCB, but if you don't have a ZCB, then I would just do him normally. I don't know if it's better to like, let's say, bring a full bowfa setup and then just bring T-Bow on top of it, versus doing Akka normally and not touching crystal armor. I don't know which one would be better, to be honest, because I would have to run calcs on Mosori versus bowfa for every room on the T-Bow. I think I get hit by that one. That's okay though. We have bandages. Go through shadows of ZCB? I don't think so. ZCB is very, very bad on shadows. I would not recommend that either. Any tips for not getting overwhelmed by insanity? Well, you always want to focus on Baba's rocks and Zebek's prayers first. Don't really worry too much about the lightning. Like when you're learning, I assume you'll have like Power of Life and Ambro. Don't worry too much about you hit one. Tap the bandage. And this will heal us more than like, as long as I don't get hit by literally every single lightning in a row, this bandage is gonna heal me. I'm chilling. I can take a lightning or two. It's just gonna have to come down to practice. Don't be afraid of these shadows. You see these? When these shadows are like turning big, don't be afraid to step on them like right there. Like right after they explode or right before. Because then you know they're safe for a bit, you know? Like, big shadow, click, chillin'. The hardest part really is like remembering where Baba's rock is gonna fall. Like, I can just step on these and it doesn't really matter. Because I have a sun coming up soon. And then once you like get really advanced, you can start doing movements like, you know, like you just jump on them last moment. 38 minutes, no flicking, still 2 whole restores left. See? Not bad. You can also have some other stuff off. Like if you suck with like upset stomach or you want a soft core, that's fine too. The only thing with soft core is that I wouldn't like about it is that you would, if you end up dying in Zebek or Akka, you'll have to go double power and start flicking. Okay, you can see this. This is the setup here. Hardcore, walk for it, blah blah. Pathfinder diet's off. This is only if you're going life second. If you're okay with flicking, I would just go double power and keep this off and turn something else off. And then the rest is all on except Ancient Haste. If you know how to do rapid heal Tiki, you can go Ancient Haste as well. But I don't see why you would push past 500 if you're already here. That's the thing. If you've already made it to 500, you can make the raid in whatever way is easiest for you from here on out. Just try to keep it at 500. There's no reason, at this point, there's no reason to, let's say, push to 525, which is like what a Shadow user will probably run. Do you know what purple chance is for 500? It's not 14%, the plugin's wrong. It's roughly about 7 point something percent schnapps, depending on what you have. I would guess this is probably about 7.4, 7.5%. There's just a lot of clicking, yeah. Oh, you mean like the... Well, you could always try skull skipping, but yeah, I mean, it takes some practice. Like, you like, learn the timings. The timings are very static. Yeah. Well, the weighting is different, though. It's not, even though it's like 7%, you're a lot more likely to get a shadow, I guess. Like, when you see the purple. But overall, the update... If you were doing like 445, let's say, before, now you can be doing like 500. It's a pretty sizable buff. If you look at the graph, like overall, If you don't own a shadow, you're eating so good. You probably saved like 40 hours on your shadow grind from the update. I know everyone on Reddit's crying that it's a nerf, but if you can go to 500 without flicking and have 2 restores left with a bowfa, I would say that's buff. What order do you do? You generally want to do Baba, Kefri, Akka, Zebek, but it is okay to do Zebek third if you have like a level 3 Zebek. It's actually fine. Normally it'd be trolling, and back then it'd be trolling, but it's fine now because it's not that big of a deal. You don't really brew on Akka anymore, and you don't need run energy as much as you used to, so it's fine to go Akka for if you want to have like an easier Zebek as well. What's the thought process to pathing to center for Akka special? Pretty sure it's just muscle memory. Well, whenever I path, you can see I usually do like a long click. I'll just click like this, because I know my character's going to move in twos when I click that far out, right? And I kind of just have my mouse ready in the middle of my screen. Because if I know I'm always safe moving in twos, right? Here's what I do. I click long, and then I just hover my mouse. When I want to stop, I just click where my character is. I know I'm always safe, right? So that's how I kind of get to the middle. I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, I'm kind of in the middle. Let me just click the tile I'm on, and that's it. That's how I do it. But if you want like a more proper way to get into the middle, I believe both attack tiles that aren't at the very far back corners, you can just click your current symbol, and that works too. I think. I haven't done enough Vortic Butterfly to be certain about that, but I know that the very far back tile doesn't work, and I'm pretty sure the other two do work, where you can just click the symbol. But personally, I just kind of like click long, let my character do the running, and then I just stop myself. That usually works. And when in doubt, like you're like, just keep moving. When you're in doubt, just like keep moving, and you'll be fine. The only movement you want to be really, really careful of not doing is doing this, walking in the same line over and over. You can like walk in some dumb like circle like this, and you're probably fine. You know, like until you like make the full loop, you're probably fine. So don't be afraid about just like keep moving until you're ready to stop. Just never move in the same direction walking like this. That's like the worst thing you can do. And the reason, you know, like if you want to know like the ins and outs of the mechanic, it's if I'm moving from here to here with Double Trouble, let's say, it drops it where I was, and it always drops it one in front of where I go. Which is why if I keep running, I'll always be fine. Or if I make turns, like, then I'm also fine. Just walking the same direction is like the most dangerous thing. One in 16 roughly for Shadow at 500. 7% chance, so let's see, 100 divided by, let's say 7.4 is, I'm gonna guess, is the drop rate. 13, and then 13 divided by another 16, or I guess times another 16. So you'll see a shadow every roughly 216 raids. And if your raids are taking about 40 minutes, then, well, let's say 38, because honestly, I think 38 is pretty fair. Times 38 divided by 60, 136 hours for a shadow. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. The whole mega rare. Alright guys, I am gonna get ready to go to bed. It is 3 AM my time. 550s were not worth the squoze, but hopefully you guys saw enough content of some more bowfa runs that you've learned enough that you can hopefully run them. But do not tell Reddit. You gotta keep it for yourself.